Bleach is a series full of strong characters. Still, strength is relative. And today, we will try to rate two characters with overwhelming abilities to see who stands on top. Unohana and Sajin Komamura. Due to the anime already covering most of their feats, I'll be fleshing out the little we can find from the databooks to let facts guide us to the winner. Starting off, I'll talk about the power structure of Bleach, which will affect both combatants, before I go more in depth with their individual analysis. Bleach has a merit-based hierarchy. Age has nothing to do with the rank, only one's abilities. This means captains poses higher physical stats than members of their own respective divisions. On top of this, a Bankai generally amps the user by a factor of between 5 and 10. There are more factors to consider, but I won't go into detail on them since this fight doesn't necessitate it. And before I forget, we will be rating both combatants while taking their prime into consideration when necessary. Starting us off, Sajin Komamura. Back in Soul Society arc, his strength while using Bankai is directly comparable to Soul Society Zaraki while wearing an eye patch. While that's impressive, he would train enough to surpass that level of strength to the point he became comfortable enough to fight Tozen, who at the time was an above Espada. This alone should put his offense, strength and attack potency somewhere above continental level at this point of the series. With that out of the way, let us use his 1000-year Blood War feats to gauge where he should rank in his prime. Starting off, he clashed evenly against base Bambietta, one of the strongest Sternritters in Core 1. This should give us a good deal of feats for his speed, which should be at least faster than light, seeing as weaker and slower characters have light speed reaction. After the humanization technique, Sajin's durability is amplified to an insane degree. Sajin becomes completely invulnerable to any and all forms of attacks. Now on to Unohana. Unohana's feats and scaling all depends on Zaraki. So how powerful was PR Muken Zaraki? Soul Society Zaraki, while wearing an eye patch on, was stronger than Tozen using Bankai. He was also equal to Soul Society Sajin in Bankai. Zaraki would go on to fight equally against the 5th Espada during Huko Mundo arc before gaining an amp, which would see him one-shot the 5th Espada. After this, he would go on to defeat first release Yami, the Zero Espada, who possessed at least twice a captain's Ryatsu while wearing an eye patch on. Zaraki, before fighting Unohana, would go on to defeat 3 Sternritters who all possess at least captain-level Ryatsu while wearing an eye patch on. Unohana, while in base, would easily kill this same Zaraki who's not wearing an eye patch, and she would do so a number of times. This is impressive, since the eye patch suppresses Zaraki by a factor of at least 10, according to Mayurai, its creator. Unohana, while in Bankai, similar to Sajin, gains an insane amount of defense amplification. Her defense is amplified by gaining instant healing, which allows her to fight without worry about any physical wounds, effectively granting her invulnerability. With their feats already analysed, it's starting to be clear who has the advantage. Still, we will try to be fair and rank both together according to their favoured categories. Let's begin with offense. Offense can be simplified by rating each combatant's attack potency and strength. Ryatsu also matters, but will only refer to it when necessary. Sajin excels in his brute strength. In the databooks, he scores a perfect score of 100%, similar to Soul Society Zaraki, whom we've covered before. As for Unohana, she also has a perfect score of 100%, but the difference is, she surpasses the same level of strength Sajin has easily. By being levels above the same, Zaraki Sajin is equal to. As for speed, Unohana is easily faster since she was able to overwhelm Zaraki, killing him and healing him before he even realized what was going on, unlike Sajin whose best speed feats are being able to react to Bambietta. The databooks also supports her speed being leagues superior to Sajin's. Intelligence is a unique metric which can be divided up into several categories. Firstly, there is experience, which should go to Unohana due to her age within the Gotei 13. Then we have general intelligence, and she seems to be rated higher according to the databooks. And finally, there is combat IQ. When it comes to combat IQ, she has demonstrated superior skills and decision-making compared to Sajin, who has been defeated a number of times, compared to Unohana. Finally, we'll compare their defense to see if this fight is as one-sided as it's right now. Defense, similar to the other categories, has a number of metrics, starting off with durability. Durability is usually equalized to the attack potency. We've seen Akigo take several of his own Getsugas while he was trapped without issues. Since we've already given Unohana attack potency, it means she should also get durability as well. As for the other categories within defense, we will look at their respective abilities and hacks. Sajin, after undergoing the humanization technique, gains temporary immortality. Immortality, even when temporary, is obviously superior to base Unohana's ability to use Kaido for her healing, but as for her Bankai, it also makes her immortal to a similar degree. Which means they're both equal in this regard, only that base Sajin after the humanization technique has better hacks than base Unohana using her Kaido ability. So will this be a fight or a one-sided massacre? Looking at the figures and stats we have, unfortunately, Sajin only stands a chance with the humanization technique, and even while being in it, he needs his Bankai to be able to harm Unohana, but that's a tall order due to the difference in speed and skills. I mean, a stronger and faster Zaraki than the one he was equal to couldn't even so much as scratch her. On top of this, his immortality is only temporary, depending solely on his stamina or Ryatsu, which is high. But when compared to Unohana's even in base, there shouldn't be a discussion that he won't get the chance to meaningfully harm Unohana to force her to use Bankai. The end verdict of the fight is that base Unohana sadly won't get the thrill kid Zaraki managed to give her through combat, and will likely be bored while fighting Sajin in his prime form. Due to how her healing works, she probably won't be able to constantly revive him to keep enjoying battle forever with him since time isn't on Sajin's side, after using the humanization technique. As for which form Unohana will need to win, I believe she should be okay fighting Sajin while in her base without difficulties. So guys, do you agree with the final verdict of the match, or was there something I missed? This is the first of a series of ratings that I wish to go over. It'll be great if you can subscribe, like, share and comment down below if you have any matchup requests. The next matchup will be uploaded and made public if this video gets at least 50 likes.
Fight back! Fight back! Fight back! And I've got to say, in all honesty,
thanks for staying patient till the end of the video.